WOCA.
Ocala.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. Joe Reichel is in the studio. The show is called Damage Control, and that's kind of appropriate because Joe controls damage. If you have a project that you're working on that needs to be repaired and maybe you got a little stuck, you need advice, what kind of tool to use or whatever, call Joe at 622-9622 during the course of this show and he'll help you out, or perhaps give you advice on who to call to get it done from a professional server, a professional person. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Not bad. It's a nice day. It's like summertime again. Some rain and yeah.
A little rainy out there today.
Hey, you know something I was wondering about?
This is going to be good.
In the John Tesh thing that just played, he said lefties are more likely to have accidents because tools are made for right-handed people.
Agree.
And he gives as an example a knife, a hammer, etc. How is that one hand? I don't understand that.
Knives, like a utility knife that a carpenter would use or a construction worker, those are typically they are a left hand. They're ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous is how I would say it.
So same with a hammer. A hammer would be ambidextrous, but your typical circular saws, those are made.
Are they really?
You can use both hands, but the way the blade is designed on them, they're on the blade would be further away from you. So when you're cutting with your right hand, it's on the outside. If you cut with your left, the blade would be towards you.
Are you a lefty?
No. Good morning.
You said it like you wouldn't want to be.
No. I think I wish I was able to use both hands more, but I'm predominantly right-handed.
I wonder why that is. When you have to use both hands, you do. I mean, we all do. To play piano, you have to have both hands going.
Right.
So I don't understand why
we have a different dominant.
I wonder why.
Dominant. I guess it's the way our brains work, right?
So I have another unrelated question. Okay. A house catches on fire and the fire department puts it out, and then they put a sign by the door that says no entry, this has been condemned or whatever. Mm-hmm. You come in to fix it.
Yes.
Do you have to have them approve it once you've done your work? Do they have to come back and say, okay, now you can enter it again?
That is a great question. As soon as the fire department leaves that property, it is now the responsibility of that homeowner or the owner of the property. So the fire department is done with it. Once they leave, they're done with it.
Okay.
If there's an investigation or something like that, as far as the cause and origin of the fire,
like if there was a crime or something,
right? Then it's a different situation. But a typical home fire, once the fire department leaves, it's now your responsibility. So if something was to happen to it, vandals get in there, or
oh, really?
thieves or something, that's your problem.
If they get hurt in there, is that your problem?
Yeah, could
really?
Be. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's why, on our construction sites, as soon as we go in, we'll, board up and secure the area so people can't get in there and wander around and, get into your stuff or whatnot. And we'll also, one of the first things we do in a situation like that is put up posted and no trespassing signs.
So you, as a repair person, have authorization to go in there because the owner gives you that authorization?
Yes, we have to have their authorization.
So it's not from the fire department, it's from them. Okay.
Yep.
So when you're all done, then if they've made it forbidden to go into that house, who makes it okay again? You?
As far as who makes it forbidden? As far as like
that
to
sign,
live there?
that sign that they put on the house says.
Typically, if something was to happen, like say it happens here in the city will come and they'll turn off the power, and that makes it basically an unlivable.
So it has
structure.
to be re-inspected again, just like a new house.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll need to get the power turned back on. In order to get the power turned on, it has to be, typically an electrician will have to come out there and inspect it, fix whatever's wrong, and then okay it, after getting a permit, okay it with the city, and then the city will come out and the city inspector will come out and inspect.
Right.
And then once that's done, then they'll call the power company, and the power company will, once we get the okay from the city or the county.
So how do you work without power? How do you do your job?
Well, in a situation where it depends on the situation. Sometimes there's certain parts of the house that can be shut down and just have certain parts powered up or electrified, I guess. Would that be the right word?
It works. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's just certain parts of the house, so we could use that. Or if it's a whole house type situation, we'll have a temporary power put in, much like they do whenever you're doing a construction.
Generator?
Well, we could bring a generator, but a temporary power pole is common, where they'll just run a temporary power to the house.
Oh, okay.
So they have a telephone pole there with a meter box and an outlet that we could use for construction purposes, just like when you're building a new house.
And are those same things applicable to like a flood?
Typically in a flood, you don't have the power turned off.
Okay.
And that's, probably if a tree was to fall on a house and it comes in and, floods that way, yes. As far as water coming in, they'll turn the power off, because probably there's certain parts of the roof that have been affected, and a lot of your electric lines run through the roof for your lights and whatnot. So they will shut the power off for that. But if, let's just say, for example, your toilet supply line, which I recommend that you get those fixed every so often or exchanged.
Replaced, yeah.
Same with your washer and dryer or washer supply water lines. You should have those changed too. But if, for example, one of those was to break and it floods out the house, it's not going to, the water typically won't get deep enough to affect your electrical in the house.
If you have a question for Joe, this is a good time to call. The number is 622-9622.
Those are great questions.
I always wondered about that sign that says no entry.
Right. And that's because typically it depends on the situation too. If it's a dangerous situation, the city will make sure they'll put those signs on as far as no entry. But that doesn't apply. Once you get a building permit or to do the repairs, the construction part of it, those doesn't really apply. Typically, that's for occupancy.
So you have obviously a license to do the work that you do. Mm-hmm. I don't have that license.
General contractor's license.
But let's say I had, which I don't, but let's say I had handyman skills. Okay.
He's got skills.
And my cousin Eddie says, "Hey, Larry, you got handyman skills. Can you come fix my house that had a fire?" The sign says no entry. Do I not have authority to go in there? I mean, am I going to do something wrong?
Here again, it depends on the extent of the damage that you've had done, and you're probably going to have to get some sort of permits to do, some construction and have some inspections take place in order to get things turned back on as far as the power and things like that. So you'd have to have a license in order to do that. A handyman is not a licensed trade. You don't have to have a license in order to be a handyman. However, you do, and you don't even have to have insurance, but you really should, as far as liability insurance and in case something was to happen.
Isn't that amazing? You need insurance for everything.
You should have it.
For everything.
It's always good to have insurance.
Huh.
And it's always better to have more insurance than you need than not enough insurance. Whether it's life or personal property insurance, or whatever it is. It's always better to have way more insurance. Even your auto. A lot of people don't have uninsured auto coverage. And
I do.
That people really should have.
What if you didn't? I mean, what if you didn't have that and somebody hit you and they were uninsured and whatever? It all falls on you.
Yep.
So what about the electrical wires that were not burned? Do you replace them too, or does an electrician replace them? If part of the house was burned, and do you know what I mean?
It really depends on the disaster and the extent of the disaster. Typically, if it's and also the age of the home. If it's a home that everything is okay, those wires will be fine. If it's we've had older homes where and then complete fires too, where just take everything out and start all over. It's a lot easier that way. So,
especially if it was an electrical fire.
well, if it was an electrical fire, yeah, then you've got that concern.
Probably need to take care of all of the wires.
Right.
We need to take a little break.
Break time already?
I know, it's amazing. The phone line is open. If you want to call Joe and ask a question, you are invited to do that. The number is 622-9622. And later on in the show, we'll give you Joe's phone number so you can call him when he's not on the air.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, good, doing pretty good. How
I'm
about
saying
you?
hi to the little kid out there.
Okay, I thought you were talking to me. All right, we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. The number again, 622-9622. We will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Periods of clouds and sun today with a shower and thunderstorm or two in the area, mainly this afternoon. The highs in the 70s to near 80. Mostly cloudy tonight with a passing shower, lows in the upper 50s to mid-60s. For tomorrow, clouds and limited sun, highs ranging from the upper 60s to the mid-70s. And for Thursday, New Year's Day, pleasant with clouds and sun and a high in the 70s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. It's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's return to Joe Reichel in Damage Control. If you have a question for Joe, this is a great time to call 622-9622 and ask your question. So you had a flood you had to deal with last night?
Yeah, we got a flood yesterday afternoon. This one is in Leesburg, and a lot of damage to wood flooring, a laminate flooring area. Had to tear all that out and take the baseboards off and whatnot. It was the pressure valve going into the house for the water supply line had broken and all the water came in. So
when you pull up wood flooring, is that wood flooring able to be put back, or do you have to get all new wood flooring?
Well, it really depends. If it's real wood, a lot of times we can dry that and then get it refinished. Sand it back down and refinish it, and that's salvageable if it's a real wood floor. If it's they had is more of a laminate flooring. So I'm going to be posting pictures as soon as I leave today. As soon as we get done with the show, you can see them on Facebook.
Okay. And you do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
See, I've got a couple of skylights, and they've been on the building since 1990, and they're kind of frosting over. Can those be cleaned, and what kind of material are those skylights, and do they get brittle in time and they should really be replaced?
Well, it really depends. Those are great questions. Really depends on the brand of skylight. Typically, what'll happen, most roofers will replace those whenever they put a new roof on your house, is how they typically will work those, and just like anything else, it's easier just to put a new skylight in versus trying to match it up and fix the existing as far as getting all the seals and everything exactly right, putting a new cover on. However, it's not impossible to get a replacement cover. You just have to make sure you find out the brand and the what brand it is, and then also the maybe a serial number or different information off of it, and you can get a replacement for it.
What kind of a material are they usually made out of?
It really depends on the type of skylight you have. Some of them are, a glass, and then some of them they have that dome, and it's more of like a plexiglass material, the dome style. So, it really depends. It depends what you've got up there, but they will fog with time, just like anything else. So, how long? You said how late they've been up there? 10 years?
Well, no, since 1990.
Oh,
and
since 90.
I had a re-roofing here done. About 2004 or 5 it was, and the fellows at the time said my skylights were fine.
Okay.
And so they just re-roofed the roof and that's it. But I went up there cleaning gutters and that, and when I'm looking at it, and they're frosted over. I'm just wondering, they're not leaking, they look good. I'm just wondering, you ever see these car headlights get frosted?
I was wondering if that would work. As you were speaking, I was wondering if a product like that would work to.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I wouldn't try that and give that a shot. I don't think they really need to be replaced right now. I don't know. It's they must be pretty sturdy. They have to be kind of like shatterproof, because if you get a heavy hailstorm or something, to protect themselves.
Yeah, they're a very sturdy product. Not sure exactly what they're made of, but I'm sure it's just like a headlight. I'm sure, I would assume that would work. Maybe try a small area that's a little inconspicuous first and see if it works.
Give it a try. Are those skylights fairly costly, or?
Skylights are not cheap. I mean, they can be several $100s. So I don't know. I wouldn't really call it. I wouldn't call it expensive, but
than the actual light, huh?
Well, it'd probably be real close to the same. I would think.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm gonna run over to my auto store and pick up, if I can find that product, and go up there and see what happens.
I've never heard of anybody not doing it, but I'll have to Google that and see if I can find some information on it. It'd be a nice little tip to share with people, but just be very careful up there on the roof.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for your program, and have a happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
See, I think they should make them out of the same material that the taillights are made out of. The taillights never get fogged over. It's always the headlights that get fogged over. You ever notice that?
I have. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's because they're red.
Or they're clear. No, even the clear ones that go over the reverse, the reverse lights.
Backup lights.
Yeah. My theory is that you're driving into the wind, where the back ones don't get the brunt of the wind.
I like that.
So there's
theory.
probably a lot of wind on the roof of a house, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that also, if it fogs up like a solar cell, and would it cause the solar cell to not be as effective after it was a few years old?
Like those solar lights type thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, the cells, the actual solar cells they have a...
Okay, like that you have like for a solar panel.
Yeah, they must have some kind of
I don't know.
glass covering or something.
I don't know.
You would think glass, though, wouldn't, because that doesn't happen to glass. When our headlights used to be made out of glass, they never used to do that.
No, typically a glass won't fog up. It's more of the plastic.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Materials. So.
But at the same time, you wouldn't want glass on your sky roof. Your skylight, I mean.
Well, they do have glass skylights.
Really?
I mean,
Just very strong glass?
Well, it's just like your windows, but yeah.
Oh, so it could break.
Well, yeah.
If a bolt fell off of an airplane or something.
Well, and that's like the glass rooms that we install. We've done several of those, and they'll have glass on the roof. It's like a solarium type style.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So we've had to replace a few panels that have been broken.
They don't take baths in those glass houses, do they?
They could, I guess. They don't throw stones, though.
Oh, is that the saying? I thought it was don't take a shower if you live in a glass house. The phone line
didn't care people seeing you.
The phone line is open. By the way, there was somebody trying to call during the last caller, and I can only take one call at a time. But if you call right now, I will definitely get you through. And in the meantime, what is your phone number so those who can't get through on the air or prefer not to?
Yes, my direct line is 352-817-6574. That's 817-6574. You can call me anytime. My phone is always on. My email is joe@damageflorida, all spelled out, damageflorida.com.
Do you show up right away? Like if there was a fire at 12 midnight, are you there at 2 a.m. or something?
Typically, if there is a fire, at 12 a.m., we would be there by 2.
Really?
For sure. Yes.
My goodness, so you're on call.
We are, yes. With the emergency services and the disaster restoration part of our business, if there's an emergency, if it's during business hours, we're getting there within an hour. After hours like that, in order for us to, get to the shop, get loaded, I will, like if I got the call, let's just say tonight somebody called, and I hope it doesn't happen, but somebody called and said, hey, we just had a fire. I'm getting dressed and I'm going immediately there. I'm calling, and while I'm getting ready, I'm calling the guys and I'm telling them, and they're getting everything set up in order to show up there so that we can, board up and protect the home, tarp in the roof if need be.
Oh, so that's really step one. Mm-hmm. Before you start repairing, you just kind of secure it. You secure it.
We would secure that and make it available for the insurance company to look it over tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Just like if there was a flood in someone's home tonight, we're going there. We're going to do the extraction, take all the contents out of there, and set up the equipment and get it going, get it drying, get everything drying back out. And we do all that before. The cleanup needs to be done before the rebuild can happen.
So I have a question that I can't ask you to answer on the air because it wouldn't be fair for you to answer it on the air. But it would still be a question I would like to ask you.
Okay.
So this would have to be an off-air answer, although the question will be on the air.
Okay.
Okay, the question is this. Part one, it's 2 parts. Part one, do you work with a lot of different insurance companies? Okay. So question 2.
Can I answer that on air?
Yeah, that one you can answer.
Yes, we work for, and typically our emergency services work is for homeowners with insurance. However, not all insurances or not all homeowners want to claim it on their insurance, or they may not have homeowners insurance. So it would be an expense that they would have to take care of.
Okay, that part you could answer on the air. The one you can't answer is the next question.
Okay.
So I'll ask it this way. If I did not have homeowners insurance or I was unhappy with mine, do you know enough about the insurance company? Because you work with them and you're not biased. I mean, you see the ones that step up to the plate and you see the ones that fall short of what their promise is.
Yes.
I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. So obviously you can't say on the air who you would recommend. But
we've got a client right now that we're doing the rebuild for. A tree fell on her house a year ago in July. We've just started in December on the rebuild of her house because she's finally got the insurance claim. Her insurance carrier is not a very good carrier, and there's others that...
That's what I want to know.
There's other carriers that it's... And this is the conversation that we have with a homeowner. If it's certain companies, we'll tell them it's going to be likely going to be 2 months before we start your project, before we have money for it. We can start it sooner if you want to pay for it out of pocket, but most of the time, and here's the sad part, how cute is that? Most of the time, people do, little girl being pushed on a little car, how cute. Most of the time, homeowners that have these insurance companies that are not great companies, most of the time they are forced to have that insurance because of their mortgage. It's the only insurance they can get.
Oh, they can't switch?
They could, but typically their insurance or the mortgage company will pick a company for them.
Oh my goodness!
And these are usually a cheaper premium, so it's a little more difficult of a company to work with.
So I could, off the air, You can't do it on the air. But I could ask you, can you recommend a company? And you could tell me.
There's several, and that's where.
So 2 months is not unusual, but a year and a half is very unusual.
Well, 2 months is a long time.
Oh, 2 months is a long time.
I mean, there's companies out there that when the insurance adjuster comes, he's writing a check to get things started. When he comes.
Well, that's the one I want.
Well, but those companies, you're going, typically as a homeowner, you're going to pay a little extra for that, and most of the time, you're not going to need your insurance. So homeowners sometimes reckon, or sometimes,
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Sometimes in their mind will say, "I'd rather pay less every year or every month."
Risk. It's like a gamble.
Right. It's the gamble. Great question, though. But
right.
I mean, there are several companies, and I can. Your insurance agent, they can give you lots of different options.
Yeah, but they're biased.
Not necessarily, because they work for a lot of different companies.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
So they can give you, a wide range of coverage.
So we're out of time. What's your phone number again?
352-817-6574 or joe@damageflorida.com.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 2015.
See you then.
This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
To cooperate with Indonesian investigators.
Fox Radio's Alistair Wanklin. New York Congressman Michael Grimm now saying he will resign a week after pleading guilty to tax evasion.